National Police Commissioner Fani Masemola been speaking to officers who will be deployed around the country ahead of the elections. Several hotspots have been identified. Police say they'll be monitoring these areas closely. Newzroom Afrika's Nqobile Madlala joins us now. Nqobile, good afternoon to you. What comment there from the top police brass?
Well, he's told them to go do their jobs, not sleep in the job, to make sure that they are upholding the law, but also make sure that the citizens uphold the law as well. As you can see them behind me, there's going to be over 500 of these police officers that are going to be on the ground in KZN, but also not only in KZN, but as well as in Eastern Cape. And they have been sent with a message to make sure that they keep holding up the law and making sure that the elections go as smooth as possible. And I want to bring in the co-chair now of Net Joints to speak to us about this. Co-chair, very interesting that you've got so many members that are going into these provinces. Could you perhaps give us an update in terms of why is it important to have so many of them going into KZN and other provinces?
Thank you very much, and to your viewers at home as well. It is important for us, this is according to the plan, to augment the teams that are in KZN, especially KZN, Eastern Cape and other parts of the country, that we have more of the high-risk polling station or voting stations, as you have known, that we have more than 632 of those that have been classified as high-risk voting stations. So in order for us to release the deployments that is within the provinces, we still need those that will assist them in terms of ensuring that there is in between platoons that are operational. So this team that you are seeing here before us, it is going for that purpose. Of course, you have heard in recent days that there are sporadic incidents of protests. That is why we are having this team. This is our medium risk team that is going to assist the provinces. And I must say we are not leaving any vacuum where they are coming from, as we have mobilized them from all over the country, because we do have head office staff that will augment the teams that are within Gauteng and close by provinces. But all provinces will receive additional deployments.
And of course, 600 is a big number to have as hotspots, and one would imagine then you must have some information on the ground that will give you an idea in terms of where they should be going. Can you perhaps give us just an idea how that's going to work?
The identified high-risk station, of course, they are in the main in Eastern Cape as well as in KwaZulu-Natal. That is why we are dispatching these teams earlier, for them to be able to release members that are within the provinces. We are having in one province more than 300 voting stations that have been classified as high risk. And the provinces that are having lower numbers, like your Northwest, Mpumalanga, as well as Northern Cape, it means the people that we are going to be deploying static at the voting stations are lesser. Hence, we augment the teams that will have more members within the province that are going to be on the static deployment at the high-risk stations. But those that are at high risk will require the medium-risk deployment to do the patrols around those stations, including to tighten, as we have indicated yesterday, to tighten the areas where the voting material will be kept.
I want to bring in the National Commissioner to speak to us. Of course, National Commissioner, as co-chair, is explaining that there's going to be a collaborated effort. Perhaps can you first give us a mandate? What are you saying to these gentlemen behind you?
Well, I did speak to the members to say they must go and protect South Africans, to make sure that South Africans are free to go and vote. They must create stability, create an environment that is peaceful for everyone to go and vote, and of course also prevent crime where there is, and that they can never be present, and also at the same time there be disorder where they are. So it can only be order or the other, but they must be there to maintain order. That's what I'm sending them to go to do in the province of KwaZulu-Natal and Eastern Cape.
And of course, you don't work alone. We can understand that you've got other teams that assist in ensuring that you're keeping and upholding the law. How does that work at this point?
Well, as you heard, the co-chairperson of the NAT joints, they are working together. Even at my level, we do work together as co-chairs of the JCPS DG's cluster. I'm working with my counterparts, Secretary of Defense and the Chief of Defense, as well as the DG of SSA. We work together. And of course, all other law enforcement agencies, your Metro Police, both provincial and national traffic police, they are all part of making sure that the elections in this country are conducted in a climate that is conducive for that to happen.
Just lastly, would you say that there's a lot of volatility in these elections?
No, not like previous elections. The build-up was quite peacefully compared to other elections. So, yeah, I think we think it will go quite smooth. We don't expect any problems. But wherever there are areas where we have had some intelligence, we are attending to those areas.
Thank you very much for speaking to us. That's, of course, National Commissioner and the co-chair of NAT Joint speaking to us in Harrismith, where you can see the men in blue here, also who are going to be dispatched to various areas, especially in KZN as well as Eastern Cape. That's already expected to be going there from here, I understand, but it's obviously somewhat of making sure that on the ground, it's safer. And like we are hearing from National Commissioner, is that he's saying that they must go and make sure that South Africans are able to vote. We understand that KZN, of course, is one of those provinces that have been identified in those hotspots that are more than 600 hotspots. And so they're going to ensure that people are able to vote accordingly and that there's no disruption around. And we heard when National Commissioner was speaking to some of the police officers, saying that nobody should be blockading the road and they shouldn't negotiate when such things are happening, because people need to have their rights to be able to put that X and be able to vote.
Nqobile, Madlala, thank you very much indeed. Do appreciate that update.